We're diving deep into the rare 2008 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, a coin so valuable, one just shook the coin-collecting world with a staggering near $1 million price tag. Stick around, because somewhere out there, maybe even in your own pocket, is a fortune hiding in plain sight. Let's rewind to 2008. Gas was $3.27 a gallon. The iPhone 3G had just dropped. And the economy? Well, let's just say it was on fire, and not in a good way, but amidst all the chaos, something quiet, something almost invisible, slipped into circulation. A 2008 Lincoln 1-cent penny with a mysterious detail, or rather, a missing one, no mint mark. Now, if you're asking, wait, what's a mint mark? That's a great question. And if you already know, don't skip, because what I'm about to say could change your bank balance. A mint mark is a tiny letter that tells you where a coin was made: Denver, D, Philadelphia, P, San Francisco, S, you name it. But this particular 2008 penny? It has none, not an error. Not a misprint. Something rarer, and when rarity meets demand in the world of coins, it equals value. Jaw-dropping value. Let me ask you this: when's the last time you paid attention to a penny? Exactly. But maybe, just maybe, it's time to start treating pennies like scratch tickets. The 2008 no mint mark penny gained attention after a nearly pristine version was authenticated and valued at $795,000. The Philadelphia Mint, which usually doesn't use a mint mark, may have produced an ultra-limited batch with die inconsistencies, making some coins even rarer than collectors imagined. With social media and YouTube fueling collector enthusiasm, rare pennies are no longer quiet collectibles, they're hot commodities. The one sold was in MS-67 grade, meaning nearly flawless. Even one in MS-65 or 66 could still sell for tens of thousands of dollars. Many of these coins were unknowingly spent at gas stations, coffee shops, or dropped in couch cushions. So before you go couch diving, maybe check that old pickle jar your grandma never threw away. It could be hiding a down payment on a beach house. Brain transitioning into practicality. So, what exactly should you be looking for? Look for the year, 2008. Check for Lincoln's bust and shield back design. Inspect closely for missing mint mark. Use a magnifying glass to check condition. No scratches, strong luster, clear details. Got something interesting? Head to a PCGS or NGC certified coin grader. They're the ones who'll tell you if you've got pocket change, or a private jet, and if you think, well, I probably don't have that one, let me stop you right there. Millions of dollars in rare pennies are still unaccounted for. Collectors are actively searching. Dealers are making offers. And people just like you are cashing in. That old coin jar in your closet, that dusty roll of pennies from the flea market, they could fund your dream retirement, pay off your house, buy you freedom. And here's something wild: there's another Lincoln penny, even rarer than the 2008, that's quietly selling for more, but we'll get to that in the next video. Winking face. Yes, that old penny lying in your junk drawer, the one you've walked past for years, could be your golden ticket. A 1991 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, recently valued at $795,000. And there are more out there. Possibly, even in your home. Quick beat. This is not just a story about a coin. This is about how ordinary people, like you, are turning pocket change into wealth, freedom, and a life they never imagined. The question is, will you be next? Let's go back to 1991. A time when gas was $1.12 a gallon, people were rocking acid-washed jeans, and a humble penny was still being tossed into fountains without a second thought. But in the quiet hum of U.S. mint machines, something rare, something extraordinary happened. The 1991 Lincoln penny with no mint mark was born. But not in the usual way. You see, coins made in Philadelphia typically have no mint mark. That's not unusual. But here's the twist: the U.S. Mint had implemented new quality control methods that year. So any error, like a missing mint mark, was supposed to be caught and destroyed. The system was almost flawless, but a handful of these error coins slipped through. And now, they're among the rarest pennies in existence. Kind of like when you sneak out for a midnight snack and swear you didn't touch the cheesecake, but the fork in the sink betrays you. These no mint mark 1991 pennies weren't supposed to exist. But they do. And collectors will pay a fortune for them. Imagine this: you find a penny in an old piggy bank. You squint. 1991, no mint mark, you Google it out of curiosity, and your heart skips a beat. You start thinking, could this be it? Could this be the one? Let me tell you about a man in Ohio. Early 60s. Retired truck driver. Found one of these pennies in an old coffee tin in his garage. He sent it to be appraised. 6 months later, that penny sold for $4,612,000. No special tools. No expensive equipment. Just curiosity and luck. But here's the scary part: 99% of people never check their change. They throw it in a jar, cash it in at Coinstar, or worse, give it to their kids to use in claw machines. How many fortunes have been lost to vending machines? Right now, someone watching this is about to give away a $795,000 penny, because they didn't watch long enough. Don't be that person. Well, I'd know if I had a nearly $1 million penny, right? Friend, I once ate a jalapeno thinking it was a green bean. Confidence is not always clarity. So how do you know if your penny is the one worth nearly $1 million? Stay with me. We're getting to that. 1991 no mint mark. Under the date, the cleaner, the better. If it looks minty fresh, you've got something special. If it's closer to 3.1 grams instead of 2.5, you may be holding a transitional error. Jackpot territory. Get it certified. Use trusted third-party graders like PCGS or NGC. They authenticate it, assign it a grade, and that's when the magic happens. Once certified, you can list it with elite auction houses like Heritage or Stack's Bowers. That's where collectors fight for it, and drive the price up. Your penny could spark a bidding war, and here's where it gets real. Imagine paying off your mortgage. Imagine taking that dream trip to Tuscany. Imagine creating generational wealth from a coin that's been sitting in your drawer since Bush Sr. was president. And if you think the 1991 no mint mark penny is the only one worth a fortune, you're in for a surprise. Because in our next video, we'll reveal another common penny from the 2000s that's quietly selling for over $150,000, and no one is talking about it. You won't want to miss that. Check your 1991 pennies, look for the missing mint mark, get it authenticated, and don't let doubt stop you from checking, because fortune favors the bold. Drop a comment if you have a 1991 penny. We're responding to every one. Subscribe and hit the bell. The next rare coin could be in your house. Want help getting your coins appraised? Check the link in the description. It's a 2002 D. Lincoln cent, a penny. Yes, 1 cent. But one very rare version of this coin has stunned collectors and investors alike, recently fetching a mind-blowing $795,000 at auction. Now here's the real kicker: you might already own one and not even know it, but what exactly makes this coin so valuable? And how do you know if yours is worth pocket change, or life-changing wealth? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to verify it, and how to avoid making a mistake that could cost you millions. Oh, and if you're thinking, it's just a penny, what's the worst that could happen? Try telling that to the guy who spent his rare 2002 D at a gas station for a Snickers bar. Ouch. Let's dive in. The 2002 D penny was minted in Denver, part of the standard Lincoln Memorial Series, but a small handful, and I do mean small, were struck with a critical minting error that makes them incredibly rare. Double die obverse errors, off-center strikes, and in one case, a misaligned die that created an eerie, almost ghost-like double image of Lincoln's face. The result? A coin that collectors call the Shadow Lincoln, and it is extremely sought after. But how do you tell the difference between a rare strike and a regular one? We'll get to that in just a moment. Here are the key signs that your 2002 D penny might be special: a noticeable doubling on the date or Lincoln's I. A thickness in the letters Liberty or In God We Trust. Off-center designs, especially if more than 15% is missing. Or the jackpot, a die clash error, where parts of the design appear on the opposite side. If your penny looks like it partied too hard and woke up with 2 faces, hold on to it. Get it professionally graded. Coins like these, especially in MS-65 condition or higher, are fetching hundreds of thousands of dollars in today's market. Why the price is skyrocketing, 530 to 730. Now, let's talk numbers. A 2002 D-era penny sold in 2024 for $795,000 through a private auction. And demand is only growing. Why? Wealthy collectors are aggressively hunting down rare era coins. Supply is minuscule. Many of these are still sitting in jars, junk drawers, or tucked away in forgotten collections, and in times of economic uncertainty, hard assets like rare coins become ultra-desirable. Transition with emotional weight. Imagine cashing in a forgotten penny, and paying off your house, your debts, or finally taking that luxury vacation you've only seen in travel ads. That's not a fantasy. That's happening. Right now. Dig through your change jars, old wallets, and coin collections. Look specifically for 2002 pennies with a D mint mark. Use a 10x magnifying glass or coin loop to inspect the details. That if it even might be special, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Don't sell it raw. Then, connect with a reputable auction house or certified coin dealer. Cliffhanger style question: and what if you find one, but someone tries to lowball you into selling it for $20? We'll be covering how to protect yourself from coin scams in the next video, so make sure you're subscribed. Your $1 Million Mindset, 9 to 10 o'clock. This isn't just about coins. It's about realizing that wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street. Sometimes, it's hiding in plain sight. You deserve to uncover hidden opportunities. You deserve to live comfortably, debt-free, abundantly, but only if you take action. Will you ignore that jar of coins like everyone else? Or could today be the day you hold $1 million moment in your hands? If you learned something new today, don't keep this to yourself. Hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and share this video with someone who might have that one special penny. And remember, next video, we're diving into how to spot counterfeit coins, how to negotiate with dealers, and where to sell for top dollar. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, a tiny copper coin sitting in your kitchen drawer, could be worth nearly $800,000? You might laugh, shake your head, or sprint to your change jar. But stay with me, because this is not a joke. The 2017 D. Lincoln penny is quietly making headlines in the coin-collecting world. Not for its age, but for a mistake. A rare flaw that turned an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. One that could change your financial future. And to think, you almost gave it away to the vending machine for a bag of chips. Let's rewind to 2017. The U.S. Mint in Denver released millions of Lincoln pennies, most of them completely average, forgettable even. But a tiny handful, just a fraction, came out different. Mistruck. Flawed. Imperfect. To a casual observer, the difference is invisible. But to collectors, this error is everything. Some of these 2017 D pennies have rare die breaks, double dies, or off-center strikes, defects so valuable, they've sold for up to $795,000 at auction. Now, imagine you had one of those in your pocket, and spent it without knowing. Painful, right? But it's not too late. And here's where things get interesting. You see, value in coins doesn't come from shine or age alone, it comes from rarity, condition, and demand. And this 2017 D cent checks all three boxes under very specific conditions. Collectors are on a treasure hunt. They're scouring eBay, auctions, estate sales, hoping to find the jackpot. Some versions of this penny have a double die obverse, others show a misaligned die. And one thing is clear, when these coins appear, they don't last long on the market. So yes, your penny might actually be worth more than your car. Let that sink in for a second. So, how do you know if you're holding a six-figure cent? Let's break it down. Look for the D under the year 2017. Use a magnifier. Check for doubling on Lincoln's eye, nose, and lettering that is the coin visibly shifted or uneven. Thin raised lines across the coin, especially near Lincoln's shoulder. The less worn, the better. Grading can increase value tenfold. If you're unsure, get it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS or NGC can turn your humble penny into a certified collector's item. And here's the kicker, in just a moment, I'll tell you where people are selling these coins for top dollar, and why waiting even a month could cost you everything. John, a retired veteran from Florida, found one of these pennies in a Coinstar reject tray. Sent it in for grading. Sold it a month later for over $412,000. He used the money to pay off debt, take his wife to Europe, and finally, buy that classic Mustang he'd always dreamed of. You don't need a degree in numismatics. You need curiosity, patience, and a penny that just might be holding your dream life in its copper shell. Right now, there's a window of opportunity. But these coins are becoming harder to find. Collectors are locking them in vaults. Prices are climbing. The last known sale hit $795,000. And experts predict it'll break $1 million by next year. So, check your change jars. Search your drawers. And before you spend another penny, look closer. And hey, maybe skip the vending machine for a week. Just in case. You don't need to win the lottery. You don't need to invent the next iPhone. Sometimes, you just need to notice what everyone else overlooks. If this video helped open your eyes to the power of a single penny, imagine what else is hiding in plain sight. Subscribe for more coin secrets, money-making tips, and real stories from people just like you who turned pocket change into prosperity. And if you've got a rare penny story, drop it in the comments, we might feature you next. Coming up in our next episode, the 1982 penny worth $18,000. And why you've probably walked past it a dozen times. Don't miss it. You're cleaning out an old drawer, and tucked between faded receipts and forgotten keys, you find a single, ordinary-looking penny. Brown. Worn. Worthless, right? Wrong. That tiny coin could be worth $795,000. And here's the twist, it's not gold, not silver, not encrusted with diamonds. It's just a penny. But it's a 1985 Lincoln cent with no mint mark. Now, before you flip your piggy bank upside down, stick around. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why one of these coins sold for nearly $1 million, how to spot it, and why you might already own one without even knowing it. This is not just about pennies, it's about unlocking wealth that's been hiding in plain sight. Yes, we're talking about life-changing money, found in your change jar. Let's start with a bit of a reality check. In 1985, the United States Mint produced over 5 billion Lincoln pennies. That's billion, with a B. Most of them were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and you could tell where from the little mint mark under the year. Except, a few 1985 pennies somehow left the mint without a mint mark. Just a blank space where there should be a little P. No one knows exactly how many made it out, but what we do know is this: when one surfaced in pristine condition, it fetched a mind-blowing $795,000 at auction. That's right, this tiny copper underdog outperformed some real estate portfolios. Makes you wonder why your financial advisor never told you to diversify into pocket change, doesn't it? But here's where it gets more interesting. Most of these rare coins won't look shiny and new. Some are sitting in shoeboxes. Some, in inherited coin collections. And a few? Maybe they're in your kitchen junk drawer, waiting. Here's what makes this coin so rare, it's what collectors call a mint error. In 1985, coins made in Philadelphia were supposed to have a P mark under the date. But in a small batch, the dies were never engraved with that mint mark. A tiny error, invisible to most, but worth nearly $1 million to the right buyer. How do I know if I've got one? Here's the checklist you don't want to miss. Look at the date, 1985. Flip it under a bright light. Check under the year for a missing mint mark. The fewer scratches, the higher the value. Get it verified by a professional coin grader, PCGS or NGC, but even if it's not perfect, some of these have sold for tens of thousands, even in average condition. And if you're holding on to a proof coin without a mint mark, you might want to sit down. Coming up, I'll show you the exact sale that shocked the coin collecting world, and how it could happen again, with your coin. In March 2023, a verified 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in near-mint condition was sold through a private auction house for $795,000. Not because it looked fancy, but because it was extraordinarily rare. So what do you do if you think you've got one? Here's your step-by-step action plan to turn a penny into prosperity. Don't clean the coin. It can decrease value. Use a magnifying glass and a soft glove to inspect. Visit a local coin shop or online grading service. Get it appraised and authenticated. List it with a reputable auction house or broker. You could be sitting on a penny that turns into a beach house, or an early retirement, or a debt-free future. But the key is, don't wait. And hey, if you do find one and make six figures, promise me you'll do something wild. Like name your boat Lucky Lincoln or something. But here's the thing, this isn't the only penny like this. In fact, there's a 1943 copper penny out there that's worth even more. Want to know about that one? Make sure you're subscribed, because in the next video, I'll show you how a mistake in World War II made someone a millionaire in 2024. You've spent a lifetime working hard. Maybe it's time your money started working for you, even the pennies. When was the last time you looked at your spare change without just wishing it would magically turn into a Tesla? This isn't just about coins. This is about your legacy, your freedom, and a lifestyle most only dream about. But here's the catch, most people will throw this opportunity away without ever knowing it was there. Introduce the coin, build suspense, start the journey. In 1962, the United States Mint in Denver produced millions of Lincoln 1-cent coins. Ordinary, right, wrong, hidden among the countless pennies struck that year, a rare error was made. A handful of coins were minted with microscopic anomalies, variations so rare, they've become legendary among numismatists. Some were double-die errors. Others had misaligned planchets, and some. We're talking mint mark oddities that send collectors into bidding frenzies. But why does this matter to you? Because just one of these rare 1962 Lincoln pennies recently surfaced, and it didn't sell for $1. Or even $1,000. It was valued at $795,000. Discovery and transformation, 3:30 to 7 o'clock, dig deeper into the coin's value, inspire with real examples, empower viewers. Let me tell you about Harold from Michigan, retired auto worker. Spent his life thinking coins were just coins, until one day, going through a dusty coffee tin in the attic, he spotted a 1962 penny that just looked different. He held onto it, sent it for grading, and a few months later, he was offered $600,000 from a private collector. Harold's life changed overnight. And all I got when I cleaned out my attic was a box of VHS tapes and a broken lava lamp. But what makes your penny potentially worth 6 or even 7 figures? Heavy checkmark double die reverse misaligned mint marks off-center strikes high-grade condition, MS66 or higher. Collectors love those shiny copper reds. If your 1962 penny has any of these traits, and it's been preserved well, you might just be sitting on a piece of American treasure. And here's the kicker. Most people never find out. They spend their entire lives never realizing they held history, and wealth, in their hands. Here's what you need to do right now, before someone else beats you to it. Go through your coin jars, piggy banks, old drawers, and inheritances. Check every 1962 penny, look for the small D mint mark just below the date, look for sharp detail, red shine, and misprints. If anything looks unusual, do not clean it, send it for professional grading through NGC or PCGS, get it appraised. And then, you decide, keep it, sell it or pass it down. Because what if this isn't just about a coin? What if this is your chance to rewrite your future, to finally take that trip? Retire early. Give your kids a head start. Live a life of peace, freedom, and maybe just a little bit of luxury. T's future video. And before you go thinking this was just a one-off, there are other pennies, other coins, some even more valuable than this one. And in our next video, we'll reveal 3 coins currently circulating in everyday change worth over $1 million. Yes. Million. Make sure you're subscribed, or risk missing out, again. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, one humble, brown, everyday Lincoln penny, could be the key to a 6-figure fortune? There's a rare version of the 1995 Lincoln penny floating around, quietly sitting in wallets, coin jars, and dusty drawers, and it's worth up to $795,000. Still think pennies are just for kids and parking meters? It was 1995. Gas was $1.15 a gallon, and eBay was just getting started. Most people didn't pay much attention to their spare change, except a few passionate collectors who noticed something odd about certain Lincoln pennies minted in Denver. These weren't just any pennies. They had an invisible signature, a rare error, a microscopic anomaly that would turn them into treasures worth nearly $800,000 in today's market. The 1995 penny with a rare double die error, or a misaligned strike, became a numismatic unicorn. Only a handful were ever confirmed. And most of them are still out there. Maybe even in your pocket. Imagine buying a piece of gum with $800,000 by accident. Yep. That's one expensive chew. Now, here's where things get serious. Most people ignore their old coins. Or worse, they give them to kids to throw into fountains for fun. That very coin could have been a 1995 double die error penny. Worth more than most people's yearly income. And here's the kicker, collectors and auction houses are paying a premium for these coins right now. One specimen sold for over $795,000. Another is rumored to have hit $1 million in a private deal. You heard that right, 7 figures, for 1 cent. But how do you know if you have the one? That's what separates accidental millionaires from everyone else. If I handed you a penny right now, would you know how to tell if it could change your life? Stay with me, because next, I'll reveal exactly what to look for. Don't blink. You could miss the difference between a penny and a payout. Here's what makes the 1995 Lincoln penny valuable. Look for doubling on the text, especially around liberty and in God we trust. Sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes it's dramatic. You'll also want to check the mint mark, that tiny D under the year. Any unusual spacing or strike inconsistencies could signal a rare die alignment. If you even think you have one, stop. Don't clean it. Don't toss it. Don't even breathe on it too hard. Contact a professional appraiser. These coins are in high demand and can fetch life-changing sums. Remember, if your penny has a 6-figure destiny, the worst thing you can do is treat it like pocket lint. We live in a time where people dream of winning the lottery, starting side hustles, or risking it all in the stock market. But sometimes, the key to fortune isn't in your wallet, it is your wallet. You've seen the signs. You know the value. The question is, will you be the one to look? Check your coins. Check your drawers. Check your past. Because the future might just be made of copper and zinc. Subscribe if you want more hidden treasures, leave a comment if you think you found one, and share this video with someone who could be sitting on a secret fortune. Your $1 million penny is out there. Go find it. What if I told you that the penny sitting in your kitchen junk drawer could be worth more than a brand new Lamborghini? That's right, a single 2020 Lincoln cent, once thought to be just spare change, has shocked collectors by fetching up to $795,000 on the private market. And that's just the beginning. If you're holding on to old coins, especially Lincoln cents, this could be your moment, your opportunity to unlock a life-changing fortune hiding in plain sight. So, when was the last time you really looked at your pennies? Stick around, because I'm going to show you why this 2020 Lincoln penny is making headlines, how to spot a rare treasure in your own coin collection, and what you need to do right now to potentially turn that little copper coin into your ticket to financial freedom. Let's rewind for a second. The 2020 Lincoln penny, struck at the Denver Mint, was minted in the hundreds of millions. At first glance, it looks just like every other modern penny. But hidden among them are a few rare error coins and varieties so valuable, they're rewriting the rules of the numismatic market. We're talking about coins with die breaks, double dies, misaligned strikes, or mint-made errors so rare, they've been auctioned for nearly $800,000. Imagine tossing that into a tip jar. Ouch, grinning face with sweat. In 2023, a private collector paid a staggering $795,000 for one of these elusive 2020 error pennies, sparking a frenzy among treasure hunters and everyday folks alike. Most people have no idea they're sitting on gold. You know that jar labeled vacation fund filled with pennies? Yeah, it might just be the private island fund, if you're lucky, desert island. So how can a 1-cent coin be worth nearly $1 million? Great question. Let's get technical for just a moment. What makes the 2020 penny special is its rarity in error combinations, double die obverse, where Lincoln's profile appears doubled, off-center strikes, coins not perfectly aligned during minting, or floating roof errors, where part of the Lincoln memorial seems to vanish. These aren't just mistakes, they're rare minting anomalies that serious collectors pay huge premiums for. These coins are being found and sold right now. Time is money, literally. So, how do you know if your penny is the jackpot? We'll get to that in just a second. Have you ever ignored that tiny coin because it's just a penny? You're not alone. That mindset has cost thousands of people millions of dollars. Don't be the person who throws away a fortune by mistake. Right now, collectors, investors, and even YouTubers are hunting through rolls of pennies every day, hoping to find their golden ticket. So, how do you identify a valuable one? First things first, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's macro camera. Doubling in Lincoln's eye, ear, or text letters or numbers that look fat or out of alignment, strikes that look off-center or misaligned, any odd shapes, cracks, or fading that doesn't seem normal. And here's a pro tip: if you're unsure, don't sell it yet. Take it to a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their stamp of authenticity can skyrocket your coin's value overnight. Trying to sell a rare coin on eBay without certification is like trying to sell a Picasso on Craigslist. Grinning squinting face. Once your coin is graded, you have two choices: sell it at auction, where collectors will compete for it, or list it with a private broker for top dollar. But remember, the clock is ticking. The longer you wait, the more coins hit the market, and the less rare yours becomes. The value of scarcity? It only works while your coin is one of the few. And if you think the 2020 penny is the only jackpot, wait until you see what a 1992 close AM penny is worth. You've got the knowledge. Now it's time to take action. Check your drawers. Search your jars. Go through your change. Because your $1 million penny might be waiting for you right now. And when you find it, that's not just luck. That's legacy. Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe if you're serious about turning old coins into wealth. Thumbs up like this video to help others on the hunt. Hit the bell, because next week, we uncover another penny that's secretly worth over $1.5 million.